Jared,
Alex,
how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good, man. 3 days before your fight, how you feeling?
All right. I feel great. Ready to go. Happy, grateful, and I'm doing what I love, so that's why we're here.
How did you make 145 for so long?
It wasn't for so long. Man, it was a struggle for me, man. Big struggle. I'm kind of like, if there was a 150-pound weight class, that would be very ideal for me. It's just a really tough stretch to 45. Very hard. Kill myself type of weight cut camp. More focused on like cutting weight than training. I did really well at 45 though, but I screwed up that opportunity down there, and I think now that I'm a little older, also it's probably better for my health to be at 55.
One question about Paddy, 'cause you know who's coming. I guess how is it dealing with his fans first? I guess since December, and then now with him saying that he wants a rematch because he was injured in the fight. Like, what were your thoughts on that?
His fans are my fans now. Every now and then, there's always someone that's like, "You're Paddy's son," something like that. But like, if you look at his page, people send me like screenshots of the comments on his page, and it says like 30-27 Gordon, 30, nonstop Gordon's son. This, I don't know. That's like a thing, I guess. But I would say like 99% of the world or MMA fans think I won that fight, and I gained a lot of fans, man. People from Liverpool and London constantly message me, "Oh, you beat Paddy. You got to fight him again." So it might have, with that decision, really the only thing that I missed out on was the other half of my check, which sucked. But like, I'm not like struggling for money, so I think it might have been a positive thing for me the way it turned out.
What were the emotions like after that fight? It was a big fight. You were the first guy to beat Paddy in the UFC. You lost your paycheck. Like, what were the emotions like after that fight?
Yeah, it really sucked. I was super upset. I went back to the hotel room. I was kicking shit and throwing shit. I was cursing at my friends and family. And then, over the next couple of days, I started to see like that it was a good thing, and it propelled me as a person and as a personality within the industry. So it was a lot of it was positive, and now I'm going into a fight which is a forward fight. So I believe the UFC figured that I did a good enough job to get a fight that's higher up.
When you got the name Bobby Green, what was your reaction to it?
I was like, oh shit, he's fucking good. Excuse my language. Man, he's a veteran, man, and he's really good. He's beat a lot of really good guys. He's got great boxing. He's got great underrated wrestling, great takedown defense. He knows how to get up underneath people, and it's going to be a puzzle for me. I think besides like Diego Ferreira and Charles Oliveira, this is my toughest fight to date. Definitely tougher than Paddy, but that's why I'm here, right? To fight the best guys and to climb the ranks. So, with everything that I've gone through, like I think this is just, and where I stand in my career and where Bobby stands, I think it's like perfect fight for me right now.
On paper, it's a very fun fight. I know you said that you wanted to show off more of your boxing. Like, do you and obviously Bobby Green loves to stand there and bang. Like, are we going to see a bit of banging fight?
I think there's going to be a lot of striking involved. I don't necessarily think I'm going to sit there and try to get into my Philly shell boxing stance and try to outbox Bobby, who's clearly very good at that. But I just got to mix it up, man. But that means striking, everything, my whole arsenal. So I've been working on it very hard, and I know I have the tools to get the job done. So.
And finally, for me, just I want to know how's recreational behavioral health going?
Recreate Behavioral Health Network. That's a treatment center that I'm partnered with. We help people on a daily basis. And if anyone needs help, like, DM me. And I'm not just, trying to get you into rehab. Like, I'll talk to you just to talk to you, see how you're doing, And I always tell people, listen, like, you have to, if Recreate's not a fit for you, I'm always here to talk to, or go to a meeting. Like, do what you got to do every day. It's not just about, treatment is not the only way to get sober. So, I'm always here to speak to for anyone that is struggling with anything. I tried killing myself. I tried, I was an addict, obviously, all sorts of other problems. So hit me up. I'm here to talk to. Thanks, Alex.
Going back to the sort of the big one in the Instagram comments and everything, before your first fight with Paddy, it was kind of a nice enough little dynamic between you, and then recently you posted a video from the hospital where that seems to have changed, and he looks a little bit annoyed at you. Because you saw what the first fight did for your career in general, would you be happy to take that rematch? Does it just make sense, like, yeah, sure, why not? Because everyone will want to see it based on the first fight, and if he's going to talk about you the way he is doing, it would be bigger. Are you interested in a rematch?
Yeah, I'm clearly, like, living rent-free in his head. He just had surgery, and he's in his recovery room in the hospital, and he's, in the first couple of words he's talking about is Jared Gordon. If I thought I want to fight and I wanted to move on and upward, I wouldn't be talking about Paddy Pimblett from my hospital bed. But it's not just me living rent-free in his head. It's every other media outlet and person in the industry. Joe Rogan, Nate Diaz, I think, said something. A bunch of people think I won the fight or know I won the fight. So, yeah, I mean, if it was worth it for me, but when I get past Bobby, that's fighting backwards. So unless they gave me some really big spot, it would put me in the spotlight, obviously, and I think, it would grow my brand and grow me as a fighter. But at that point, it's more of a risk for me fight-wise after I get through Bobby. So, but, if they offer me something good and money, then I might think about it, yeah, of course.
I mean, even technically, you've had those 3 rounds with him. If you went into a rematch, I mean, how confident would you be? I know people say you got the victory, but would you just be like, oh, I can suss this guy out right away?
Yeah, I think obviously I learned a lot for fighting 15 minutes with him. People were like ripping on me for the 3rd round because I was trying to take him down against the cage, but that was like the only round the judges gave me. So if I won that round, then I clearly won at least one of the first 2 rounds. But I was expecting him to be a lot more unpredictable when I went in there with him. So I was kind of like, I don't want to say gun shy, but I was fighting safely. Because, looking at his first 3 UFC fights, he came out guns blazing. So, like, I think that I would just have to, like, pick up the pace a little bit more and get going a little faster, if there's a next one.
Because you mentioned about the criticism in the 3rd round, that just reminded me. Did you hear Dana White's comments afterwards? He was like, kind of didn't even want to talk about robbery. Yeah. He was trying to sort of say the conversation was more about your tactics. What was your reaction to that?
Well, so when I first heard what he said, I was upset, obviously. But then when I saw the judges' scorecards and that the 3rd round was the only round I won, it's like the argument kind of gets like erased. Because the first 2 rounds were fun, and I did great in those first 2 rounds. I reversed every takedown he went up for on me. I had like 6 minutes or something of control time. I took him down, and I landed more strikes. So I don't know what world he wins that fight in, But you know what, man? Dana texted me the next day and was like, "We're going to treat your next fight as if you won this one." So, and they did. So thank you, Dana.
You said about you were kind of expecting him to be maybe a bit more unorthodox. On Saturday, I think Bobby Green can be about as unorthodox as they come in terms of striking. So when you're fighting a guy like that, and you mentioned then, like, oh, that can make you not gun-shy but reserved and sort of cautious, knowing that can eventually kind of fuck you if the judges don't look at it a certain way, do you have to just be like, well, I might get hit with something unorthodox on the way in, but I have to be aggressive in order to stop that from happening.
Yeah, I'm expecting to get punched in the face a lot on Saturday, and I'm expecting there to be blood, from both parties. But I truly believe I haven't shown my full potential yet in there, and what I'm really capable of. If you watch my first 2 UFC fights, there was a lot of glimpses of who I am and what I could do, and then like the next 2 after that, I got hurt, and I got TKO'd in the next 2 fights. So I kind of I kind of just have to keep my job here, and started fighting safely. But I'm in the groove right now, man, and I've rattled off some, in my last 5 fights, I'm 4 out of 5. I lost to Grant Dawson, which I did great in that fight, and then he caught me in the last round. It was a tough fight, but I had him shooting for my legs the whole time, and I looked great on my feet. So I learned a lot from that fight. But fights, you just there's moments in training and moments in fights where you're like, all right, I'm in the zone, and I just have to get into that zone and get going fast with Bobby. I can't let him catch a rhythm. So, but yeah, I'm expecting to show the world who Jared Gordon is.
Hey, Jared.
Hi, Amy.
I just have one for you. It might be a little weird question, but that's my specialty, by the way.
Okay.
Would you have rather gotten the win but not received all of the respect and all of the support? Or do you prefer that you lost the fight, but now you see kind of how the community views you?
So yeah, I've thought about this. If I won that fight, the narrative would get switched. Oh, you beat a bum, or that fight sucked, whatever. You know how the fans, they're so fickle. So the only thing that would have been better would be getting better about winning would be getting the second half of my check. But I'm not relying on fighting for money. So, I think it's turned out better than winning would have been.
You mentioned that Dana said that he's going to treat it like you won. Did he give you any kind of backstage bonus or anything?
I got something. It wasn't like my full paycheck, but Well, I think he meant more was that we'll treat your next fight as if you won, so like a forward fight. Yeah. Thanks, guys.